Yes, it is almost final that Nirmala Sithraman and Dr. S. Jaishankar will contest. We've been hearing about Piyush Goyal too. What does this show about the thinking of the Prime Minister, the thinking of the BJP?
Thank you, Parikshit. I think first, it's very clear that in BJP, you have to earn your spot. And in some ways, what this move suggests that the party may get you Rajya Sabha nomination once or twice, but to continue holding on to your positions, you'll have to dirty your feet on the ground. So that's, I think, the first message. Second, I think we need to still see which kind of seats are going to be selected for both Ms. Sitharaman as well as Jaishankar. Is BJP going to go for sort of like easy seats where the party is confident of winning? Or is this a plan to use faces like Jaishankar and Nirmala Sitharaman and put them in a context which party with an ordinary candidate might not have won, but having these sort of like well-known faces can turn some seats. And perhaps if that's the plan, then it's much more to do with the Prime Minister's sort of like clarion call of 370 seats, BJP winning alone. I think unless you try to sort of like make efforts to win that marginal seats, it would be difficult to even reach close to 370 mark, because in most parts of Northwest India, which is BJP's stronghold, the party already has matched or peaked.
Right. But where they contest from is something a very small number of people within the BJP, or perhaps only the Prime Minister knows at this juncture. Subir Bhowmik, what is your sense about the electoral prospects of these leaders, consisting they've never fought Lok Sabha elections before? What kind of seats, what kind of constituencies would the BJP like to use them in terms of making them fight Lok Sabha elections?
Well, I will say three things here pretty quickly. Number one, BJP is trying to send a pretty strong signal that, as Rahul Verma was saying, you have to earn your spurs. So, you may come in to the party through the Rajya Sabha route because you are not exactly part of the BJP family, in a way Jaishankar definitely was not. The two others were very much within the BJP. But point here is, you can't go on like Pranab Mukherjee, winning sort of staying in the cabinet year after year with his Rajya Sabha ticket. Finally, he of course shifted to Lok Sabha. So that's not something that BJP is going to allow. You have to fight elections. You have to earn the confidence of the electorate, and you have to then come to power, which means that you are integrated into the BJP setup. You can't sort of stay half bit away from the BJP. I'm not subscribing to everything that they're doing, but I'm there on the strength of my own professional background. That's not something that the BJP is going to allow. Once you're in the party, you're there lock, stock and barrel, and you have to sort of fight it out at the grassroots level. My sense about Nirmala Sitharaman and Jaishankar is, we have to watch very closely what the BJP is doing in Tamil Nadu. They're determined to, make a breakthrough there. Both through alliance and through their own, political outreach. And therefore, I will not be very surprised that if they manage, they can't win, they can't bring these people back, from any contest in Tamil Nadu unless, be it Jaishankar or be it Nirmala Sitharaman, they have good names, they have good phrases, they have a good background, and they are important in this ministry. But you know what they may try to do, what BJP may try to do is to make an inroad into Tamil Nadu using these two heavyweight leaders who hail originally from that part, that state, is that they get into an alliance with some local political party, one of the two, and then, some kind of an understanding that these are the two seats, you leave it to these two heavyweights. If these people, we don't affect you, it's a bit like the Odisha experiment that, we don't affect, Naveen Babu in Odisha, but one or two big ministers with your cooperation, Delhi mein aayega to aapke liye acha hai, it's good for you, big central ministers.
All right, Mr. Bhowmik, let me get in Rahul once again. Rahul, do you also feel that the choice of Rajya Sabha MPs, ministers who will be made to contest may also click with first-time voters with the women voters, considering the track record of the ministers, considering the fact that the whole campaign of the BJP this time is being based on the fact that the government has met all its promises?
Parikshit, first, at least these two faces, Nirmala Sithraman and Jaishankar, are like, you can see lots of their clips on YouTube. They have been on very, very active people on social media. So yes, the BJP is likely to use these two faces to mobilize a section of younger voters, middle class, and perhaps urban voters. So that is going to be there. But we also need to remember that in one sense, these two are sort of like performing ministers as well. BJP would not hopefully, if they come to power for the third time, both these ministers, Nirmala Sithraman and Jaishankar, are likely to be in the cabinet. They are among the top four names, right? They handle the two among the top four ministries. And so whether if you put them in tight contests, such as in Tamil Nadu, unless you have made a deal, as Subir is suggesting, losing elections may also cost to their reputation. So I think BJP is also going to be careful in thinking about where to place them, or if they're placing them in tight context, can they, or is the party confident that these two faces can win elections easy? And of course, these faces are going to be used to mobilize.
We also have to look at the likes of Piyush Goyal, Bhupendra Yadav, Mansukh Mandavya. What happens with these cabinet ministers, Dharmendra Pradhan as well? Mr. Bhowmik, if I can come back to you, let's also talk about the Rajya Sabha election, which is on right now in 15 seats. The cross-voting that has taken place favouring the BJP, what does the cross-voting really signify as the big Lok Sabha battle is concerned? What does this mean at the juncture in terms of political sentiments on the ground?
I think it means much more for, the public image of the BJP, is that they are going to do whatever it takes to stay in power. That's the broad message going out to the electorate. जो भी करना हम करेंगे, जीतने के लिए हम करेंगे. We are here to win. I'm just bringing in a film, the film on Sam Manek show, where he says, I'm not going to war just because I have to, or just because my boss wants it. I'm going to war to win. So that's the message that's coming out of the BJP here, that we are, if the Rajya Sabha sort of cross-voting, the manipulations that has taken place beforehand, and the way, poaching has happened, the message is to stay in power, we are going to do anything it takes. And it's right out of the, Arthashastra, the Kautilyan playbook, that, there is nothing unfair in love and war. So this is war. And you have to, you got to do everything to stay in power. That's number one. The second message that is coming through loud and clear, which the BJP wants to highlight, is that when a lot of people, from the Congress, all kinds of people, very traditional people, traditional Congress leaders, some of them break away from the pack and join. The narrative that BJP is trying to sell is that Congress is bereft of a proper leadership, and therefore it is not a serious contender for power. They can't match the kind of leadership we have. We have decisive leaders. That narrative. I'm not going to examine whether this narrative is true or false, or partially true or partially false. That's for the voters of India to decide. But the narrative that BJP is trying to come up with is obvious for everyone to see. And that is that with so many people coming over to us, and using the Rajya Sabha election and this is that, we are serious people. The Congress is not. They don't have serious leaders. And therefore, a lot of the veteran Congress people are unhappy, and therefore there is a problem. And therefore, neither the Congress is going to work, nor the India Alliance is going to work in view of all these differences. So the BJP is trying to create that narrative.
Rahul,
and all these things that have happened in Rajya Sabha is going to help them.
Rahul, the largest significance of the Rajya Sabha polls that are taking place today, is it a sort of a litmus test, a status check that all parties would be doing right now with this, as to where things stand?
Not really, because in some ways, in a Rajya Sabha election, only members of legislative assemblies are voting. So it's not a deep check in that sense about what's going to happen in 2024. But it definitely is a dip check about the health of political parties in the run up to 2024. Are they united force, or are there players within these parties who might walk out? And we've been seeing that for last 2 years, there has been bickering within the Congress party. At every instant, a very important leader has been leaving the Congress party, be it the traditional faces like Ghulam Nabi Azad, or young folks like Jyotiraditya Scindia and Milind Devra, who were very, very close to Rahul Gandhi. So I think I agree with Subir on that count, that in a sense, the Rajya Sabha is about, this election is about giving a message. Where does BJP stand as a political party, and where does the opposition and united
Rahul,
opposition?
we're running out of time. All right, we've run out of time, but Rahul and Subir Bhowmik, thank you very much for joining us on the program. We have to take a break at this stage, but coming up on the other side, US President Joe Biden hopes for a 6-week ceasefire in Gaza by next Monday, says the ceasefire will pave the way for exchange of captives and the entry of critical aid. We take stock of the ongoing negotiation in Israel-Hamas conflict with former Ambassador Anil Trigunayat when we return. Stay tuned.